Hey guys, it's Pao Fu. Just did an interview on the Zach Sang Show, and we talked about life and music and everything in between.
Hello, beautiful human. Thanks for clicking on our conversation with Pao Fu. Coffee for Your Head. That is his big hit. We're going to talk all about it. Plus, he's a brand new album on the way. We'll talk about that too. And today's interview coming at you, courtesy of GoPuff. GoPuff is changing the way we get food. They are the ultimate convenience store, home to thousands of items, from snacks to booze to household items to electronics. Whatever you need, it's available on GoPuff, and it'll come to you instantly. They'll show up to your home or to your studio, or they'll meet you on a street corner. Wherever you are, GoPuff will get to you. So why not try them out? I mean, really, they're pretty instant, super convenient, really easy to use, and they have everything I want at a really fair price. So GoPuff it. Try it out. And I'll save you $10 off your first 2 orders if you want. So, why not try it out? You're going to have to order something eventually at some time. Why not save $10 for your first 2 orders? Zach10, that's my code. There's a link in the description below. GoPuff. Grab the app. Save $10 your first 2 orders. Zach10. Use it when you're checking out. Now, here's Pao Fu. Hello, beautiful human. I am Zach. That is Dan, and we welcome to the studio Isaiah Faber, also known as Pao Fu.
Woo! Mm-hmm.
Pao Fu.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Mm-hmm. It's good to know that you came for snacks. Mm-hmm. Are you here for anything else? That's the real question.
No, I'm not.
I didn't think so.
I saw somebody call you Pofu the other day, and I was like, am I saying this wrong?
No, they're saying it wrong.
They're saying it wrong. Thank God.
I put a W in there, hoping people would see it, but some people just don't see it, so it's...
They just look right past the W.
Yeah, and then they say Pofu and it sounds like tofu. I'm like,
Do you like tofu?
No.
It's pretty good if you prepare it right.
I like meat,
Interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of meat you like?
Beef.
Got it.
Grass-fed cows.
Yeah, from Canada?
Yeah.
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 Yep. Okay, please take a slurp. Yeah.
Okay.
That was good ASMR right there.
I'm doing an ASMR interview soon here, so I got to practice.
This is a good rehearsal for you.
Yeah.
We'll judge it based on our goosebump meter or something. There's a lot to discuss here because it's so weird. You're one of the few artists that we didn't know pre-COVID. We met over the pandemic, solely over Zoom. And now we meet in person for the first time.
It's awesome.
And we met you at a moment in time where your life was, changing.
Yeah.
Pretty rapidly. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
How would you describe Coffee for Your Head in May of 2020? Do you remember it?
No. I do know that. Yeah. That's when COVID hit. So that's when it was starting to blow up, right? I don't know. It flew by pretty quick. I got flown out to LA for the first time, and I met the whole label around that time, and I got interviews and all that stuff, and it was all kind of just flying by pretty quick. I feel like I was really nervous, looking back at those interviews and stuff. I was like, man, I remember being shaky and stuff, Yeah, I feel like my confidence has grown a lot since then, which is good. I don't know. It was crazy. There's not much I can. I don't know how to explain it.
Were you creatively ready for what was about to happen to you? And let's set aside having the ability to sit through a bunch of interviews and talk about yourself. That's a whole other side of being an artist. But let's just talk about creatively. Were you prepared to meet the moment that was essentially sit in front of you?
I was prepared in some ways. Growing up, my dad was in a band, and he was pretty big in Canada.
Named after your last name, right?
Yeah, Faber Drive. Yeah, they were a pop punk Canadian band, and they got decently big in Canada, and so we'd go to the grocery stores or random place, and he'd get recognized and stuff, And so it's I kind of had secondhand fame, I guess. I kind of knew what it felt like, and I was kind of used to it. So on that side of things, when Deathbed blew up, it was I feel I was more prepared than most 19-year-olds, that are blow up out of nowhere, and it's whoa, fame is crazy and stuff, So on that side, I felt more prepared and a bit more grounded and stuff. But at the same time, I had no idea that Deathbed was gonna blow up, and when it did and stuff, And it happened pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know.
How many other songs did you have on your hard drive to be released once that song blew up?
I had quite a few. Like at that time, all I was doing was actually no. I'm trying to remember if I was working a part-time job. I think I was.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was. So I probably quit that, which is a pretty cool difference. You know, like make a full-time money off of music, which is awesome. What was the question?
Do you have songs ready to be released to follow up Coffee for Your Head? Or
I'm pretty sure I did. Like, I'm Used to It was my next release right after, and like that one I had finished, and I feel like I usually have a lot of songs in the background waiting.
This song blows up. Do you feel like you have to change the way you make music after that?
You definitely get like yeah, you definitely kind of feel that way. I didn't want to though. I was like, because Deathbed was like, I didn't really know another song that sounded like that, you know? And so I was like, Deathbed blew up by me just making what I wanted to make, you know? So I was like, I'm going to kind of stay with that, you know, and just keep making what I want to make. And like, I'm not going to try to aim or change my thing to get another hit, you know? Yeah, so I just kept making it how I always did.
Bebop Doobie added something special to that record.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, as you look at this album, right? You're about to enter your debut. It is a debut album, technically. Or is it not?
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry, the Deathbed album? Or?
No. Well, you have a new album coming.
Oh, yeah.
How do you categorize your career? Because some people are like, they stay away from a debut album. They also try to stay away from a sophomore album. So what you released, that compilation of songs back in the pandemic, 2020, because Coffee for Your Head came with other records, right?
Yeah.
Is that an album? Is that a mixtape? What do you call that?
I called it an EP.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you call what's coming in December?
I'd say an album.
Debut album or what?
I don't know what debut means.
Your first album ever?
Oh, I guess so. I guess. I've never released an album with this many songs, so yeah.
So yeah, it's your first album.
It was my debut album.
I literally thought I was fucking going crazy.
No,
for
that's me, bro. That's me.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I've never really said the word debut. Is it debut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they don't have that word in Canada. That's bullshit.
I think they do.
They
I'm just
definitely do.
kind of weird.
It's okay. Wait.
Yeah, it's my debut album. Let's go.
So okay, you really are. You could really change the way you make music post Coffee for Your Head, because I'm sure producers and a bunch of people want to write with you and are reaching out, right?
Yep.
You have a hit song that's beyond a hit. Everybody wants a piece of it, blah, blah, blah. What do you carry with you, though, from that record that you end up using or instilling in the music that we're about to get on this debut album?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm still making, like, I feel like a lot of people will start in their room and stuff, and they'll move into studios and producers and stuff, and it's like, I'm still making it on the exact same setup that I made Deathbed, you know? Like all my new music. And, like, I think the quality is getting a bit better, but it's like, I'm still trying to keep the lo-fi and, like, personal feelings to everything, you know? And, yeah, like, basically, I feel like, chill hip-hop is, like, that's, like, my favorite. And then I also love punk music, you know? And so, like, I kind of just, like, go in between those two, and I try to hit, like, I don't know, whenever I release an EP or album, I always try to release different kind of sounding songs within those categories, so that, like, hoping that if somebody listens to it, they'll at least like one of them, you know, or something.
You have a cover of Taylor Swift
Yeah.
on this album.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. I grew up listening to Taylor Swift. Like, my dad would play it when I'm going to sleep, like, on full blast, and I'd just fall asleep to Taylor Swift. And I was listening, like, sometimes I'll reminisce on her old country album, you know, and I was listening to mine in the car, and I was like, this kind of sounds like it could be like a punk song, but there wasn't like punk drums or anything, so I was like, I guess I'll try to do it. Yeah.
And why did it need to be on the album, though? Is it to help tell the story you're looking to tell?
To be honest, the label really wanted it on the album, and I was like, okay. So I put it on there, and like I don't have another punk song on the album, so it might be a cool change up, you know.
Are you looking to tell a story with this body of work?
No, I tell stories through the songs. They don't tie together usually, you know.
Do you set any expectations for what you want to achieve or goals for it?
No.
Zero.
I don't like it. I don't like expectations.
Have you ever had them?
Yeah, and I've been let down, you know.
When? Where?
Well, just like expecting to get another hit or something, you know? Like, I've had songs where I'm like, oh, this one's gonna be big, just like Deathbed, you know? And then it's like, it's not, and you get let down, you know? And then it's just like things like that. It's just like, you can't, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm happier when I have no expectations, and I'm just happy for everything that happens, you know?
Do you constantly compare the music you make to Deathbed?
I used to. I feel like more, but not anymore. I feel like I'm past that.
What changes?
Deep questions, eh? I feel like it's kind of just like, yeah, it's just like my heart and my mindset, and like just growing more confident in like my faith with God, and like everything. I feel like, you know, just growing up, being more mature and stuff. And
do you ask yourself the question of why you do this, make music?
yeah.
Have you come up with an answer?
Well, I think I was kind of meant to do it. I think Deathbed blowing up is kind of a sign that I was meant to do it, because the chances of having a song hit over 1 billion views is like, that's a tiny percent, you know?
And you're close to 2 billion, I believe, streams on that thing.
Overall, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's actually quite crazy to think about, because TikTok, it had like hundreds of thousands of videos made with it, right? It might be in millions, I'm not sure. And it's like each of those videos can blow up and get views too, you know? And like many of them blew up. And so it's like, I feel like I might be in the billions of views on that song, which is like, there's only 7 billion people in the world. It's like, what the heck?
So Deathbed is sitting at 1.3 billion just on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I want to make it clear, Deathbed is a huge record. Will live on for way after all of us in this room are gone. What is, like, have you rationalized that or even given that any sort of thought?
Yeah, and yeah, the only thing I can get from it is like, God wanted it to happen, you know? And I gotta like try and use it for good as best as I can, you know? So
when you say God wanted it to happen, do you believe, what role does religion or faith play in what you do on a day-to-day?
Kind of everything. Like a big thing for me is like, I'll get sad, you know? This is just one example, but basically I'll get sad. Like if I'm angry or mad, like I usually just shut my door and I'll freaking fall asleep on my bedroom floor. You know, I'll just lay there because like I don't want to do anything. And then the only reason I get up is like because I feel like Jesus is like he has reason for me to be here, and there's meaning behind my life, you know? And like that's basically it. It's just like I would be more depressed, I'd be more scared, I'd like so many things. It's just like I feel like the world has so much different stuff it throws at, you know? And like I feel like humans, like we're all broken and have struggles that we come into this life with, you know? It's like there's no way I could navigate through life like based on my knowledge, you know? It's like I feel like I'm like we're all kind of dumb in different ways, you know? It's like it's nice and peaceful to know that there's somebody who's perfect, like that wants to guide my steps, you know?
Can you describe that feeling of wanting to get up after being on the ground, not wanting to do anything? Like what is that, what does that feel like? What is that moment of reality? Can you describe it to me?
I feel like it's a constant cycle of like I feel like everybody gets sad and stuff, you know? And like when I get sad, it's like I start questioning everything, you know? And I feel like the questions get deeper and deeper until it's like, okay, why am I alive? Like, why am I here and everything, you know? And then it's like, it always comes back to like God chose me to be here for a reason. Sorry, am I answering the question?
You are.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah.
But that is faith, right? Faith is not always the easiest to explain to others, but it is to us what it is to us. And that is power, right? That is darkness. That is light in a dark moment.
Yeah.
Mainly because religion in that moment for you seems to be whatever it is that you need it to be to get up and to keep moving again. As you look at what you're doing in terms of music, do you feel like your music fulfills a larger mission?
Yeah, I mean, when I went on tour for the first time this past summer, and it was like my first time like meeting fans in person and stuff and playing live, you know, and it was really cool because it was like the first time, like after every show I wanted to meet every single person that came, so I had like a giant lineup out the door of just people walking up and saying hi. And like the amount of people that I met where they're like, hey, like you gave me hope, or you saved my life, like your music and stuff, you know. Excuse me.
It's the applesauce.
Yeah, that go-go's coming out. It's just like eye-opening, and it's like I know I don't have the power to change somebody's life or save it, you know. And it's like I feel like it's just like God working through my music, and like He gave me the talent or the hard work to be able to like write lyrics that relate with people. And yeah.
Is it hard or taxing on you emotionally to write lyrics that connect so deeply with another person?
No, I quite enjoy it, and like I've thought of becoming, like I've wanted to go to school to become like a counselor. Like I love talking to people and having deep conversations and like trying to understand them better, and you know, just sort through things. And yeah.
So when you're creating, okay, let's go into this album here, right? When you're working on Mine, are these songs ripped from your reality or the reality of others in your life, or imagination?
Sorry, are you saying for my or all the songs in the album?
Yeah.
Let me think of the songs. Well, yeah, it's kind of just like I was saying, it's kind of just I choose songs I think will go good together and are a bit different. And every song I make, it's like I usually don't think, like a lot of people go into the studio with an idea of what they're gonna write about, you know. And like for me, it's like I usually start writing by just like freestyling in my head and recording it and stuff, and then like waiting for an idea to come up, you know. And then I'll be like, oh, that's like a cool idea or a cool story or whatever, and then I'll like whatever I've been feeling like the past month or friends I've been talking to, I feel like everything in life kind of just piles into it, you know.
I understand that.
Yeah.
You just collect, and when you sit down and freestyle, it just kind of trickles out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm not good at freestyling, so like sometimes I'll freestyle though, and there'll be a word that I say or something, and it'll be like, oh, that's like a cool word. I'm gonna build off of this, and then that's when like I can write down what I've been feeling or hearing lately and all that stuff, you know.
Who's in the studio with you? I mean, it's still at your house, so.
Yeah, it's just me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important to keep intact?
Well, to be honest, like when I'm in the studio, I usually feel bad because I'll sit down for hours like writing lyrics sometimes. Like sometimes I can, like Deathbed, I wrote it in like 10 minutes or something. But like a lot of the time I'll be sitting there for like just hours, you know, just trying to think of like one line or something. So like when I have a producer or another artist in the studio with me, it's like I feel rushed, you know?
Yeah.
And so like it's fun to be in the studio sometimes because it's good to be pushed and rushed and stuff sometimes, but like most of the time I just care about my lyrics like so much. I feel like that's like the most important thing to me. So like I love just being by myself because then I know nobody's waiting on me. I don't feel bad for anything, you know. It's like I can take as much time as I want.
Are you sending your music in different phases of the creative process to anybody else, or is it just really kept internally to you?
I'll usually just like when I'm done I'll make the whole song and then I'll send it to somebody to get it mastered.
So is it like that for every song on Mine?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't make the beats. Like I'll find the beats from friends sending it to me or YouTube or something.
So you've changed nothing really.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What made you want to sign with a major label? It doesn't seem like something you would do.
I never wanted to sign to a label. Like I always wanted to stay independent because growing up, my dad signed to, I don't know what label, I forget, but he signed to a label with his band in Canada, and like his deal was shit. Basically, he got ripped off like really hard, and there's a lot of people that were just like fake and didn't care about it, you know. And it's like growing up, I remember like having that stress, and like we used to like we were living pretty good in my family, and we would like go to dinner and eat and stuff every once in a while, and then a bunch of stuff just happened, and all of a sudden we were like claiming bankruptcy, you know. And then like we were getting food from the the shelters or whatever. Like,
Yeah, the food bank. I know exactly.
Yeah, from the food bank, and it's just like that's a pretty crazy. It was like a drastic change, you know, and like we weren't poor or anything. I'm not complaining.
No,
but
it
like,
was a struggle.
yeah, it's pretty gnarly when you're like in a band, you're doing good, and you're making money for your family, and then all of a sudden it's like you find out like you're getting ripped off and your money's gone, you claim bankruptcy, you gotta like, you know, it's a pretty crazy thing.
So obviously that fuels awareness and knowledge as you enter into your own career, right?
Yeah, so I hated labels from that situation, right? And so I like when I started making music, I was like, I'm doing good, independent, you know. I wanted to stay independent. I was like, I love this. I get to release music whenever I want. I get most of the money, you know. And then Deathbed started blowing up on SoundCloud and YouTube and stuff, and it was getting millions of views, right? And like the only reason I signed is because every day I was getting DMs from people saying like, hey, release Deathbed on Spotify. It was just flooded, you know, like everywhere I look. And I was like, I literally can't. Like I reached out to Bia Badoobie and her label Dirty Hits, and like they just weren't getting back because like they just like, oh, this is some small artist that's like taking our song, whatever, you know. And so I was like, I felt pretty stressed. I was like, I do not know what to do, you know. I was like, I felt bad because like these people wanted this song, I couldn't give it to them. And I was like, man, like, and also I felt like the song could be big after all that feedback, you know. So I was like, dang, like this could maybe help Bia Badoobie and stuff as well, you know.
It did.
Yeah, and then so I was like, literally, I tried reaching out, and then I gave up on it. I was like, nothing's working. I was like, so then I did something like that's bad, I guess.
What'd you do?
Basically, I uploaded it without any permission onto Spotify, onto streaming services, right? Because I was like, I gotta give these people what they want, you know, like they're freaking coming at me hard, and like I felt bad that I didn't have permission, but I also like told them, I was like, I'll give you guys 100% of the royalties and everything. Like I just wanted it out because I felt bad for people, right? And so I posted it. It started blowing up even more. Like it was doing really good on Spotify and stuff. And then like I think it was out for like 2 weeks or something. And then I get a email from Spotify saying like, hey, your song got strike down or whatever. And I was like, oh well, that sucks, but like I tried it, you know, like there's not much more I can do. And then good thing I didn't get like fined or anything. I probably could have gotten in big trouble, you know. Yeah, so respect for that, like to whoever didn't fine me. Anyways, and then that's when labels hit me up, and I was like, well, here's like a pat, like because the labels saw that the song was doing good on Spotify, they got taken down. They're like, oh, this is our opportunity to like
strike,
get some crazy money, you know. So then they hit me up, and I was like, well, if I sign to a label, I should probably just do like the biggest one, you know, like the best ones, which was Universal or Columbia. And so they were going back and forth with each other, like up in each other's deals and stuff. And I was like, the main thing I wanted was I just wanted a short contract where I could get out as soon as I could, you know. And so that's what I told them. And I was like, and I want obviously as much percentage on Deathbed as I can get. And I just want it on Spotify. That was the main thing. And that's basically the only reason I signed is because I wanted it on Spotify.
So, but by the way, you've had other big songs beyond Deathbed. Eyes Blue Like the Atlantic is so fucking good.
Thank you.
How does that even come together? Because it's a large song with a bunch of people on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one.
Do they come to you or do you go to them?
They came to me for that one. I think, yeah, Sarcastic was on that, I think. And so, like, I think he was working on the beat with this other producer, and then Roseboy made a verse on it, and then they sent it to me to put a verse on it. I put a verse on it, and they're like, I think the labels were like, believed in that song and whatever, so like, we got to get another bigger artist on it too. So then they hit up Alec Benjamin. Yeah.
It's a great record.
Thank you.
It's who wrote it? Did you write it?
What part?
You wrote your verse?
I wrote my verse, yeah.
Sick.
Thank you. Yeah.
Dead Eyes is a good one too. I mean, again,
Thanks,
like
man.
Bunch of records, close to 100 million streams.
Well, let's say you did say yes, you do have a bunch of great songs, but you said anyone that's saying I'm a one-hit wonder, I agree. I don't make mainstream type music.
Mm-hmm.
You really consider yourself a one-hit wonder? I mean, you do have fans.
No,
you have
but
other.
From the outside in looking in, I think people think I'm a one-hit wonder. You know, like when people go to my page, they see a billion, and they look at the next one, it's like, A Million or whatever, you know. It's like it looks like a one-hit wonder, but like I don't consider myself a one-hit wonder, I guess, because it's like I still got like a one-hit wonder. I feel like is like you make one hit and then you disappear and you have no fans or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I still have a lot of views, big fan base, you know, like a lot of people that still listen to me. So
And
it's like,
a lot of great records.
thank you.
The song with Boy With You is so good too.
Thank you.
Like, how do you approach a collaboration like that? Do you come in with ideas? Do you take their ideas and add to it?
For that one, I told him to send me some stuff, and he sent that one. I was like, my wife she grew up in Paraguay, so like she speaks Spanish and stuff. So I was like, it would be cool to like have a little Spanish song, I guess, you know. So I didn't even know what Contigo meant. I had to ask her, and then yeah, that was a cool song. I really enjoyed that one.
How long have you been married?
A year and a half.
You like it?
Yeah, I hate it. No, I like it.
How old are you?
23.
Oh my God, when did we meet you?
2 years ago, I was 21.
Oh shit. How old's your wife?
21.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you meet?
This is another kind of long story, but I'll make it quick. Basically, I was working right after grade 12 when I was making music. I was working this job that I hated, and I was like, I was kind of sad, and I felt like I was doing nothing with my life. And then I felt like I need to make a change, and there's like this summer camp I heard of, like a Christian summer camp, and like I felt like maybe I should go there and try it out because I didn't really have any Christian friends or anything. I was like, wasn't progressing in my faith, you know. It was just like kind of boring spot in life. And then I've never been to a summer camp before. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know anybody there, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna freaking go for it and do something crazy, you know. And so I quit my job. I went to the summer camp for 2 months. And basically I met this guy there who was like really cool, and then he was like, he had sisters and stuff, and then he introduced me to apparently his sister really liked my music, and then we started DMing on Instagram. And then they pulled up to my church one time, and I met her in person, and then we went on a date. That was that.
Sick.
Yeah.
And now we're married.
Yeah.
Did we have to be married to have sex?
Is that your dad in the back?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Wait, your dad's here?
Yeah, my dad's my manager.
Oh fuck! Your dad's a really nice guy.
They looked exactly the same when he walked in. I was like, that's got to be his dad.
Did not notice. Oh my God.
Look the exact same. That's
anyway,
awesome.
Back to the question.
Let's move on from this topic.
But like you are punk, but you're giving a new, like, how do you see what it means to make, like, what is the genre to you of pop punk or punk alternative? How do you define it?
It's a good question. I've been like, people get mad at me. Like sometimes, like I like pop punk. That's like my favorite genre, I'd say. But sometimes I'll say punk rock by accident, and people be like, "That's not punk rock," and they'll get heated. And I'm like, sorry.
I mean, they're like very connected. Like, right? Are they not siblings?
I mean, to me, it's like who's gonna get angry at that? It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's just like punk rock. I think is a bit more heavier drums and maybe a
Yeah.
bit more heavier vocals. Pop punk's a bit more like lighthearted and I don't know. Anyways,
That's a good description, actually.
With that exact
No,
sound.
that's a great description.
Example.
yeah, pop punk. Yeah, I just love pop punk. I grew up listening to Yellow Card and Simple Plan, and my dad's band was like pretty pop punk. And so it's kind of like, Local Squeeze is coming out again. So yeah, I grew up listening to that, and I liked it a lot. And then in high school, I got introduced to hip hop. I was like, whoa, what is this?
And you combine both.
Pardon me?
And you combine both.
Yeah, but in high school, I only liked hip hop. I didn't like punk music anymore, you know? And then it wasn't until like grade 11, 12, I think, when I was like, started listening to punk again. I was like, I actually really love punk, you know? It was like, reminded me of my childhood and stuff. And anyways, your question about how do I define it? It's like, Blink-182 is my favorite band, and I'll listen to their album on repeat. That's kind of the only album I've ever listened to on repeat, you know, like Enema of the State and their like self-titled album. Also, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, whatever it is. Anyways, I think it's I don't know. I wasn't even really alive. Well, I was just too young when Blink started getting big, you know, to like be a part of their journey, I feel like. But like when I listen to it, I feel like they started something like crazy, you know, and they would just talk about whatever they wanted, and like I love the edgy lyrics, you know, just like saying stupid shit. I just think I have a lot of respect for that, you know.
And that's what I'm trying to like figure out is like, could your faith come in the way of being a rock star in that genre?
I think for some people it could, but like for me, it's like, I don't know, being a Christian, like where I'm from at least, is like most people aren't Christian, you know. So it's like, I feel like you kind of have to have an attitude where like you don't care, you know. And it's like, for me, it's like, I don't care what people think if I believe in God or not, you know. It's like, so like I feel like that's kind of like punk in itself. It's just like punk, I feel like is like just not caring what people think, you know. So
It's true.
yeah.
Do you feel like you're making your dad proud?
Yeah.
You hesitated there.
Yeah.
He's not listening.
Yeah, no,
There he
he's a pretty emotional guy, so like he'll tear up quite a bit. Yeah. And I think that's kind of proof that he's proud.
Well, I mean, dude, like, for so many reasons has to be proud. One, like, you're continuing to make music, which is something he's done for forever.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like, you're achieving great success all over the world. And like, I was on the radio very heavily in Canada. I have a lot of Canadian artists who are very close to me and friends.
Oh yeah?
Dude, being heard in America and outside of Canada is still a huge fucking feat.
Really?
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No, I don't really think so.
I mean, but like,
Are you still based in Vancouver?
Uh-huh.
but do you know how many artists exist in Canada that only get paid money because they're a part of CanCon and only get radio play because their government is forcing their music on the airwaves, and like they try to break overseas or even literally fucking a mile south in Michigan,
Yeah.
and it's incredibly difficult.
Yeah,
It's really fucking hard.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that was a thing, and I didn't know that if it still was or not, because a lot of the artists I talk to is like we start in our bedroom on SoundCloud, you know, and so it's like your music is like everywhere, like
Yeah,
people don't even know where
instantly.
you're from, you know, so it's like that way. I feel like if you start that way, it's easy to, like, I was bigger in the States my whole music career than I was in Canada,
Which
you know?
is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, but it makes sense because you're right. The internet is global instantly, but in that moment, like Canada can then catch up, and like your dad definitely knows, but like they have to play Canadian artists
Yeah.
a certain amount every hour.
Yeah.
So like they are artists that only maintain careers that go between Calgary and Vancouver, and that's it.
Yeah, which
You know?
sucks, yeah.
Yeah, it's highly limiting.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is. And you can look at every Canadian artist, and the severe minority, like very, 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 very tiny, end up making it outside in a meaningful way outside of like one song or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I mean, now with the internet, everybody is everywhere all the time, so you're not restricted by borders whatsoever.
Yeah.
But what you're achieving, where you're going, is pretty fucking wild, and I respect the fact that you still make music at home in your room.
Thanks, man.
I mean, will that really remain the same for as long as you make music? Are you nervous about the day you're forced out of it?
Yeah, I think it'll stay the same. Another thing is like my studio's always been in my bedroom. Well, I guess right now it's not. It's in my office, but it's always in like a small room, you know. And I have like same tiny speakers and microphone and stuff. And I just bought a house with my wife, and it's
Mazel
like,
tov.
yeah, so it's like the first time I'm gonna have like a room dedicated to being like complete a studio, you know. And so it'll be cool to upgrade. I'm pretty excited for that.
What's the story behind "Watch Me Miss"?
Can you sing it for me?
You really don't remember? "Watch Me Miss" featuring Jomi.
Yeah.
Do you want me to play it for you?
Play the
I'm not
start. Play
gonna
the start.
sing it for you. Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna. That'll induce vomit.
I make so many songs, and like the thing is that people don't understand is like I started that song probably a year ago, you know, and it's like it takes so long to get songs out, and so it's like when people are like, hey, like what were you feeling when you wrote the song? It's like it's hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
You know? It's like
But how are you picking what songs make it to this album then?
yeah, kind of like what I said, like whatever.
The label says
No,
whatever goes together sonically.
Not even. I try to do opposite. I try to make like I choose the ones that like sound different, you know?
That's it.
Yeah.
So
I know most albums, it's like they release, like, I think almost every artist, it's like, if they're going a bit more country, they'll make a country album. And it's like, oh, if they want to do a bit more upbeat stuff, they'll make an upbeat album. But like for me, it's like, I try to keep it just freaking variety the whole time, you know?
So I do want to know what Watch Me Miss even means. Also, Washing Off the Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need a little bit of that? Just prompt you. Do you remember this song?
I remember this line. Yeah, no, okay.
Where were you?
For Washing Off the Blood or Watch Me Miss?
Let's go to Washing Off the Blood.
Okay. Washing Off the Blood. That was basically, when I was writing it, I actually made that beat, which was kind of cool. I don't usually make my beats. Anyway, so I made the beat.
Why was that different? Why'd you make it that time?
I don't know. I think I was on Splice. The way I usually make my beats is I'm on Splice looking for like a little noise to put in a song, and then I hear like this melody by accident. I'm like, oh, that's a nice melody, and then I'll try to make a beat around that melody and make a whole new song. So I think that's probably what happened. Anyways, it was kind of like an eerie sounding like synth and stuff, and then I had like a cool melody for it, like the da 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 da, and I was just kind of freestyling, and I think I freestyled the Stressing Out like 99 times, and then a lot of my songs lately have just been about like running away, like having the, I don't know, it's kind of a cool, I'm kind of infatuated by like the end of the world and shit starts going crazy and like you're running for your life kind of thing, you know? And so that song was like, I was kind of talking about like the government getting corrupt and like they thought I did something bad or something, and like the girl I'm with is like pregnant at the time, and it's kind of just like a hectic story, you know, and we're trying to run away and like hide in Alaska and stuff.
But all from imagination. This is not real life.
Yeah.
Wow.
So where do you have to enter to like let your imagination go that wild? Like what zone?
Just my office. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just sit down and I feel like the beat, it kind of just like starts putting pictures in my head, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Quick, the album's name is Surrounded by Hounds and Serpents, right?
Mm.
Why the fuck did I think it was called Mine? Why is it labeled as Mine
That's
on?
Taylor
That's
Swift
not the
cover.
album yet. That's yeah, it's weird.
But it is. Is that not like your little waterfall page? Like these are all songs released from this one body of work.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about too. I don't know. It's like
I mean, we signed to a major fucking label for this problem not to occur.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's kind of a cool problem though, because it's like you hit Mine and then you see these other songs, you know. So it's kind of nice, but that's not the album. Like,
But are they from the album? These songs?
Yeah.
Yes.
they're
they
gonna
are.
be on the album.
Got
yeah.
it.
But yeah, the album's called Surrounded by Hounds and Serpents, and I just try to make my album name sound cool, you know.
It does sound cool.
And I thought that sounded badass, and the picture that goes with it, I feel like it kind of fits the vibe, and it's just like kind of like I was saying earlier, like being a Christian, I feel like I get looked down upon quite a bit for that, and then being married, it's like, and then making music, I just feel like a lot of things I do is like people like are like, what, you know? And so it's like I feel like there's a lot of fake people that there's also a lot of fake people that'll be like, yo, congrats on your success, and that's all they care about instead of like, how are you, you know? And I just think there's a lot of distractions and nonsense, so I'm just surrounded by it, you know.
Is it hard to determine who's around you because they want to be around you and who's around you because they want something?
No, I feel like I've gotten really good at that.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, it's just like the thing is, bro, I feel like you can feel love from people, you know? And like I've had friends like grade 9, like I was homeschooled until grade 4, and then grade 5 to grade 9 I had like the same friends. And then this is like I'm younger here, so it's probably a bit different, but anyways, like I realized they're kind of just jerks, and like I didn't want to be with them anymore, so I completely left the school because I was like, I want to restart. And then so I made a bunch of new friends at this new school, but I was kind of like hyped up. I'm like the new kid, like, oh, all the girls like me and stuff, you know. And then so then I was kind of stupid and I chose bad friends, and I was trying to hang out with the cool kids and stuff. And then it wasn't until like grade 12 and I was like, man, I don't care who I hang out with and stuff. And then I was just like, I started choosing, like, I hung out with like a lot of like just like the quieter kid, the more chill people, you know, that weren't assholes. Anyways, I feel like I have a roster of friends now that I've just like. I feel like I take my friendships very seriously, and like I want to check in, and like I care about them all, you know, and I feel like when you have deep conversations, you can tell how genuine somebody is, and like you can feel how much care and like love they have for you, you know. And that's kind of just what I base it on. Like if I feel loved by somebody like genuinely, and I feel like they care about me, then like I'll trust them, you know, and like I'd consider them like one of my best friends, you know. And so like I have a lot of friends in LA actually that I'm staying in an Airbnb with right now. There's like Zany, Jomi, Rose Boy, Thomas Reed, and like they're all friends that I met way back when, but it's like I've talked to them since, and like I just feel loved by them, and I feel like we'll always be friends no matter what. But then there's also people that I've hung out with, and then I don't want to hang out with them again because I don't feel the same way. You know?
Yeah, you read the energy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people like figure it out by trial and error, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is I feel like you kind of have to do that, you know.
You got to listen to this album. It comes out in December, but there's a bunch of songs already available. You can listen to it on Amazon Music. We're going to put a link in the description below. There's a cover of Taylor Swift's Mine.
Yeah, why is Mine the only pop punk song on the album?
Well, I'm actually in a basement suite right now, and like to record punk music, you kind of gotta be loud, you know. And every time I sing, I get embarrassed, bro. I'm like, man, they can hear me on the street, you know. I don't want to sound like some kid just yelling in the basement. So I recorded the Mine song actually at my dad's house.
Because you were embarrassed?
No, that's just how it happened. Like, maybe it was because I don't even know. But yeah, I recorded it there, so I was fine yelling there. But I don't really record punk music right now in the basement because, yeah.
I Hate Waking Up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that attached to your reality, or is that an imagination thing?
No, it's definitely bits and pieces. Yeah, for a while, I've been thinking about sleep a lot lately. Sleep is kind of a weird thing, bro. Like, I've had parts in my life where like I wake up at 7 a.m. every day and I don't need an alarm clock and it feels so nice, you know? And then there's other parts where it's like you just sleep in and then you wake up and you're like, man, I don't want to get up. Like it's weird. Like the longer you sleep in, the more you don't want to wake up, I feel like, for me at least. And I'll go through those phases where it's like I just sleep in every day and like it's like, man, I'm just waking up to try and make music, and it's just like, yeah.
Usually linked to something larger in life.
Yeah, for sure. 9
times out of 10.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I was just reading the lyrics to that song. You end it by saying, is this right? I have literally no hope. I have nothing left.
No, that was Anthony.
Who's Anthony?
That's Rose Boy.
He's on the record too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his little ad-lib he added in.
How is that working? Like because you named a bunch of friends, also people who are on songs on this album.
Yeah.
Do you give people notes when they cut a feature for a record?
I will. It depends how close we are. Like, there's a guy on that record named Sad Boy Prolific. Like, if he sent me something, I wouldn't give him feedback just because I'm not that close with him, you know? But like Rose Boy, like, if he said something that I didn't like or something that I think could be better, like, I'll tell him. And like I hope he'll tell me too. Like we've made a lot of songs together, and like we like each other's feedback, you know.
So you do have a crew that you keep around you of consistent people.
Mm-hmm.
What do you trust about Rose Boy or Jomi?
Well, I met them when I first started music. They're kind of the first artists that I like DM'd on. Or well, Rose Boy was one of the first ones I DM'd on SoundCloud, and like we collabed and stuff, and it was fun. And then we FaceTime. We played Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
We played Rocket League together, and he kind of just told me his whole life story, like our first time talking. And I was like, wow. And then we kind of had just like a deep connection ever since, and I felt loved by him, and so like I kept him around, and like I think he's one of my favorite artists. Like I think his lyrics are insane, you know, and that's a big thing for me. Like I was saying, like lyrics, and so like there's some artists I don't really want to collab with because like I'm not sure if I'll like their lyrics or where they go with the story. But I feel like Rose Boy, he he either adds to it or he says like what I was hoping he would say, you know? Yeah.
He completes it perfectly.
Yeah.
You got to listen to the new album. It's out in December, but there's a link that you can listen to what currently exists. What's the name of it?
Surrounded by Hounds and Serpents.
Surrounded by Hounds and Serpents. Very accurate.
Yeah.
Very, very accurate. Sounds like the music industry.
Yeah.
Sounds like getting famous and rich during the pandemic off of a TikTok hit.
That's it.
When did you start writing songs for this album? Like timeline-wise? When was it?
I think Watch Me Miss I started 8 months ago. 7 or 8 months ago. And I think that's probably the oldest one.
And when did you finish officially?
The album? I think I Hate Waking Up was like the last one I finished, which was maybe a month ago.
Powfu. Listen to it. Final thoughts?
Have you met Bia Badu? I can never get her
Bia
name.
Badubi?
No.
You never met her yet?
No, but I have a crazy story. Like, so basically she wrote the song Coffee, which Deathbed sampled, right? And she wrote it with her one friend named Ollie, and they were in London and they wrote it together. And like it did good. I never met her. We only DM'd on Instagram. And then I didn't know that she wrote it with somebody else, though. I thought she wrote it. And then last time I was in LA with my wife, like we both like In-N-Out, so we're like, let's go to In-N-Out. We go there. There's like this like crowd of people like staring at me. I'm like, oh, like they probably recognize me, you know? And then the one guy comes up. He's like, are you Powfu? I was like, yeah. And then he's like, no way. He's like, I wrote Coffee with B. And I was like, wait, what? I was like kind of confused. He's like, I wrote that song. I was like, no way. And like we just ran into each other in LA, and like we're both like, he's from London, I'm from Canada, and we just came at the exact same place at the exact same time. And like that was his first time in LA too. And I was like, what the heck? And so I met him, which
you made him rich.
Yeah, he said to me, it's kind of funny. He was like, he's like, yo, thank you for my first house. I was like, oh, no worries. It's kind of funny. Anyway, he was super nice and
it's
chill.
crazy.
Yeah, I think he probably made more money than I did from the song, to be honest.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is the ratio on that? Like,
it's pretty awful. Like, cause I was kind of in a shit place. I was the one trying to release a song that had their song in it, you know. So like they could have done whatever they wanted.
And they did.
I don't know if they did. I think the label fought back a bit, but I think they had like 75 and like Columbia had 25, and then I don't know, stuff like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
You have changed some lives though.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it again? Do you feel like you can and will?
I mean, he changed my life too, if that's what you're talking about.
You change each other's lives, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But can you have a song like that again? Do you feel like you need that?
I don't feel like I need it. I don't really like to think of the future. I kind of just live day by day, you know? And I think I could have another song blow up. But at the same time, it's like songs don't really blow up anymore, you know? It's like there's so many songs. It's like, I think Deathbed was like one of the last songs to like be huge on TikTok.
Totally.
You know?
You ushered in something new and you also closed the door at the same time.
Yeah. Like there's songs that blow up on TikTok still, but it's like they don't blow up that big anymore. Like their time frame is way shorter, you know?
Oh yeah, because there's just so many of them.
Yeah.
You think lo-fi could be mainstream?
Yeah, I mean, Joji's almost mainstream, and I would say he's lo-fi.
True. Is Post Malone ever, like, is any of his music considered lo-fi? Like, White Iverson kind of was.
Yeah, his older, like, Go Flex and stuff, definitely.
The original stuff?
Yeah. It's kind of just like, I don't even know what lo-fi is. It's kind of just like, you just kind of like, sounds a bit shittier, I guess.
Yeah, is that the qualification?
Yeah, that's
sounds like shit, but still sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like shit in a good way, you know?
Sounds like everything I do.
And I love like Go Flex and White Iverson, and then yeah, he's a bit more produced now, and you can tell like he's recording his vocals in his studio and stuff, you know. And just personally, I don't like that as much, but
is that why you're gonna stay in the basement or the bedroom? I mean, you probably have every opportunity to go to a massive studio. I've
gone to a studio a few times, and like I have this side project. I'm not gonna say the name, but I have like 2 albums that are like fully recorded in the studio, and it's like my voice sounds so different, and it's cool like listening to it, but I'm not gonna release it under Palfu because it's too different.
What are
know?
you doing on these records? Are you crooning? How are you?
What's that?
Are you singing?
Yeah, it's like a
Like
pop.
straight singing?
Yeah, it's a pop indie. I can maybe play a snippet if you want.
Yeah.
Should
The
I?
fuck?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool because I didn't know I could make music like this, and that's the cool thing about a studio is like it'll change your sound and stuff, you know. But
yeah.
but I don't like. I still like my Palfu sound too, you know.
Do you not want do you feel like your fans, the Palfu fans, won't like what you're making? Is that why you want to separate the projects?
That's a part of it, I guess. Is like I like to keep. I don't like like with Palfu, it's like I have hip hop to punk, you know, and I kind of want to keep it like that. And I don't want to add in like too many genres and make it so crazy, you know. And like I have a lot of songs in the background that I want to release for Palfu that are Palfu style, you know. So it's like I wouldn't want to interrupt that,
Totally.
you know, with another thing. So why not just
Do it.
I'm trying to release them at the same. Like I want to get these other songs out under just a different name, you know.
Do you have a name in mind?
Yeah, I can't say it though. It's kind of like a secret, and like people are gonna find out it's me. But
Oh yeah.
new people that come to it, they're gonna be like, "Who are these guys?" And we're also gonna be wearing masks and shit.
Oh, it's more than
It's a
one.
group.
Yeah, it's me and my friend Noan that I went to high school with him. Anyways, here's a snippet. Oh shoot, I gotta piss.
Play it real quick and then
We'll play it and then we'll end it.
Yeah, so this is probably my favorite song we made. So this is him singing the first part.
She don't need bad, but she walk on wine. Shiver up my spine. Fall asleep at 7 at night. On the bed, girl, with it in the where the cherry blossoms live and the gossip is.
Fuck yeah.
Girl that stole my consciousness. When my arm broke, I started liking you. Laughed at my cast, but you signed it too. Yeah, dug deep inside this hole. I don't wake up unless you call. Feel like I'm homeless without you. Under my roof, you'll have a room.
Yeah, so it's like
Was that
kinda-
you on the second part?
no, that's
That was
him
all
doing
him.
head. He sings in head voice, so it's kind of cool because I feel like I'm pretty good at mids, and then he does like the highs, and it's like it's cool going back and forth and being in a group. I've never done that before, so
Sick.
Are you
Yeah.
producing that song? Are you doing the
we have an engineer with us.
sick?
Yeah.
Are you doing the beats or what?
We kind of like he'll make the beats, and then I'll like give him like, yo, change this or whatever.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Palfu, I'm very excited.
Thank you.
Debut album
Yeah.
coming in December.
Yeah.
Side project incoming. And fuck yeah.
Heck yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Have you ever cursed?
Yeah.
You can curse on all interview.
No, I've been cursing. He says heck.
I feel awkward when I say the F word, to be honest. But
What?
I'll say it sometimes. But
You want to say it right now?
no, I'll feel awkward.
His cat's back there.
I
You know what? Just tell me to fuck off.
the one thing I don't say though is the Lord's name in vain.
That's yes, respect. That's one of the commandments.
Yeah.
But also, like you, both kind because you're Canadian and a Christian. But I feel like Canadians don't curse much either.
Yeah. I disagree. I think they're crazy.
Well, some of them, yeah, are fucking crazy.
I think down south in America they probably swear the most, right? And then well, actually, I don't know.
we're all fucked.
I think all
Yeah,
Americans
I think
curse
everybody
too much.
swears.
Dude, if you make one wrong turn here in LA, somebody will curse you out and beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It's insane. We are, yeah, we run the road. But go to the bathroom, Palfu, listen to,
Surrounded by hounds and serpents.
yes, on Amazon Music, and we're going to put a link in the description below, obviously. Appreciate you, man.
No, thank you.
Please, keep coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for putting up with us. Palfu, everybody.